this. Oh, let's get that video in there. Okay, so it's kind of hard. It doesn't want to see the orange, so hopefully it'll see the black. All right, so what's going on here is I know that the length is equal to 9.5 W, and my length is 28, so that means that 9.5 W is equal to 28. And if I want to solve for W, what do I got to do? No, it is multiplying, so I divide, yes. Divide by 9.5, divide by 9.5, so my W, my new length, everybody else has a different length, right? Because it's 15, 16, blah, 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 28, yeah, all right? So my new length is going to be 28 divided by 9.5. 2.947. Okay. 2.947. Now, when I do this, didn't I say round to the nearest tenth? Isn't that what I said?
2.9.
Round. I think we had to round to the nearest tenth, right? So this would work. So this is going to be W is equal to 2.9, okay? And so now I can throw that in, okay? Now I can throw that in to this formula, okay? So when it asks me, it says how much rail do you need to purchase? Shoot, I don't know. Oh wait, rail, perimeter, right? That's how much perimeter around the deck, okay? So, one of two things. Is the deck, am I going all the way around the deck? Or is the deck against the house? And I only got to go around. So, right now we're just going to work with going all the way around it, okay? But like that swimming pool problem, sometimes you don't have to connect to the house. Does that make sense? So your perimeter is now different. You only have one length. Does that make sense? Okay, but for now, we're going to work with perimeter. Yeah.
We got further than algebra 2.
Yes. So I'm going to start with perimeter of 2.9, and look, that's my number, 2.9, right? Okay, and then I'm going to say, well, that's going to be equal to 21 times 2.9, right? So my perimeter with respect to 2.9 is going to equal what? Well, times 21. So I'm going to get 61.9. Is that what I got? Oh, I got 60. Wait a minute. Well, I didn't round last time. I rounded this time. I didn't round this time. All right, let's try it again. 21 times 2.9. 60.19. Sorry about that. 60.9.
So you do 21 times 2.9?
Yep. And then I'm going to do my area. What's my area? My area is going to be 2.9 again, but it's 9.5 W squared, so it's 9.5 times 2.9 squared. So I need to plug in 2.9, then I need to square it, and then I need to times it by 9.5. Bam, 79.89, which would be 79.9. Okay? So that's my area.
Let me use your calculator.
Yep. So that's my area Now, you might have noticed that we have now caught up, or maybe have gone up farther than what you have done in this class. Is it true? Not true? I don't know.
Wait, what?
Have we gone farther? Are we done about the same? This about where we got to?
Algebra 2?
No, this class. How far did we get in this class?
We got further.
Okay. So,
We stopped at the.
oh, now we had to figure out, wait a minute, how much decking do we need? How much railing do we need? So, it told us that we had to have how much of a percentage? 15% greater. Okay? So it's going to be 15% greater. So think about this. If it's 15, you want to have your original 100%, right? Plus 15%, right? So doesn't that mean you have 115%? So now if I move that decimal, then what I have is 1.15, right? So I'm going to multiply this number, right? This amount of railing by 1.15. And that's going to give me the amount of railing to purchase.
Wait, what are you multiplying?
Huh?
What are you, 60.9?
Yeah, my amount, right? So I have 60.9 times 1.15. So I'll get 70, right? So right now,
We still running.
my railing that I need to purchase is 70 linear feet.
Are we still rounding to the nearest tenth?
Nope. Now we round to the nearest foot. Okay? Because of 70 feet, I'm going to call up and tell these guys I need 70 linear feet delivered to this house. Does that make sense?
Very.
Okay? And then I do the same thing to the area, because now I need decking material, right? I need decking material. So to find the decking material, I take my 79.9 and I multiply it by what? 1.15, and I get 91.888, right? So 91.8. Okay? 91.8 is 92 feet. Because I'm going to round it off, right? So I'm going to need 92 square feet of what? Decking, right? So my decking material whatever it is, using cedar, fir, some kind of metal, aluminum, maybe you're using a plastic, right? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you're using, whatever type of material you're using, you need 92 square feet. I need 92 square feet. You need whatever it is that you need to fit your numbers. Does that make sense? Okay? Alright. So then they're like, well, wait a minute. We need to stain this. We need to stain it. And I'm like, okay. Well, to stain it, I have to know how many square feet there is. Right? Now, since we already added the 15%, we don't need to add 15 more percent stain. Does that make sense? Now, you could figure out how much stain you need to stain this and then add 15%. But it's going to be the same as if you just figure out how much stain you need for 92 square feet. Does that make sense? So once we do that, we already added in the 15%. So we can round it off. When you add in 15%, it means you can round off. Off means up or down. If you don't add 15%, you always round up. Does that make sense? If you need 9.1, that's 10. Does that make sense? But when you're rounding off, that's rounding up. When you're rounding off, if you have 9.1, then you only need 9. Are we making sense here? Okay? Alright, so if my decking material is 92 square feet, 92 square feet, and I gotta figure out how much is stain, I need 18 square feet of stain. It covers 18 square feet. Okay? So what am I gonna do? I've got 18 square feet per gallon. Per, what does per mean? When you see per, what is per? JJ, what's per? Skylar, what's per? Per gallon. Per. What's per mean?
For everyone.
Huh?
For everyone.
Yeah, for everyone. What am I going to do?
18 square feet per gallon. So there's only 18. The gallon can only stand 18 square feet.
Yes, but where am I putting it mathematically? Dividing it. Okay? So it's per. When you see per, you're going to think divide. Okay? You got to think division. And the reason is because when I get to this, right? And I want to divide it, right? I want to divide it by 18. It just makes sense. I mean, you're like, I'm going to divide it by 18. It's going to tell me how many gallons there are, right? But why does it? Why? Well, that's because when you take 92 feet squared, right? And you divide it, or you multiply it by flipped, right? You divide it by 18 feet squared. You see what I'm saying? Where the gallons now get flipped and put on top. You see what's going on? Then what happens is those feet squares cancel out. And what does it leave you with? Gallons. This is where it gets confusing on that state test, right? Where they're like throwing, they're not throwing this easy stuff at you. They're throwing like those hard, I don't know, like feet per second squared divided by, you know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to use units. So we're going to learn how to use units in here, okay? So that if we get that state test and they start throwing those units at questions on us, it'll be easy. It won't be hard. We'll be used to it. Does that make sense? All right. So then we know we're going to divide the 92 by 18. And you have 5.1? Is that what it is? 92 divided by 18? So I did 5.1. So I already added 15%, right? So do I need to buy 6 gallons or do I need to buy 5 gallons? If it's 5.1. So if it's 5.1,
No.
I already added 15%, right? So it doesn't, I can round off. I don't have to round up. If I didn't add that 15%, we'd be like, oh, there's no way I could do it. I need more. I need 6 gallons. Does that make sense?
No.
But because I added the 15%, I only need 5 gallons of stain. Okay? Now look at that. That took us all the way down. Is that the bottom of the page?
No.
Almost. Okay, now we're going to make a roof that's 12.5% larger than a deck. Okay, that's going to be part 3. Okay, so we good? We're gonna